Your resume is your most important job internship. That's true. Your resume is your most important job tool. You want to be really good at interviewing, especially on Zoom, which is where most interviews occur these days. But in order to get into the door and get to that step in the interview process, your resume must be stellar. That's why we're available to work one-on-one with you and edit it with you. No, we don't write it, but we edit it with you. So it's absolutely a good representation of you. And it's to get you the interview, basically. Okay. It's a snapshot of who you are. So you don't include everything about you. In fact, most people on this call, I'm assuming, are fairly entry level. So they only need a one-page resume. That's all you need, a simple resume with a summary statement, a listing of your jobs and your volunteer experience, classwork at BC if you're a current student, and keep it simple. That's what they're looking for. Okay. Just to get you in the door for an interview, whether it's for a job or an internship. There is no right or wrong way to write a resume, but we're giving you the general guidelines today to follow. Okay. And some tips. On your contact information, create a work-appropriate email that goes in your contact information at the top. At the top, you're simply going to have your name, your email, a link to your LinkedIn profile, and your phone number. Don't include an address, okay? Like a geographical address. Do not include that. Emphasize your skills, your experience, your specific competencies that target that particular job or internship. Like we said before, create a one-page resume customized to that internship and job, and keep it simple. And that's where we come in. We can streamline that process for you and help you to create a resume that's simple, easy to read, but targets whatever job you're looking to interview for. Use the same keywords and concepts that appear in, so keywords, if you take one thing away from today that you absolutely do not want to forget, it is keywords, okay? Because that's so important, because like I said before, as they scan the resumes, the recruiter will set the job description with the keywords they're looking for, then they're going to scan for those. And that's how they select the resumes they want to bring the person in for versus the ones they're going to pass on. So if you don't have enough keywords, you could be a great candidate, but it's not going to show up on the resume. So you never get to that next right step, which is the Zoom interview. So think of it as a process. Step 1, step 2, step 3. How do I get to that next right step? Okay. All right. So technology is increasingly important. Okay. So if you are in any kind of technology class at BC, or you've completed some technology classes in the past, make sure that you include that right in your summary statement at the top. You can, here again, you're doing a quick snapshot of who you are. So those would be keywords. So whatever computer languages, platforms, classes that you've completed, put that right at the top, because the scanning equipment scans the first half of the first page for the most part. So they're going to scan down and they want to see that core information that matches the keywords at the very top of your resume. Okay. Keep it simple, like we said, nothing unnecessary. Okay. And jobs and other activities that you are still doing should be discussed. And here again, this is optional. A lot of people put everything in past tense, or you can list on your jobs, you can list current jobs in present tense, and then anything in the past in past tense. I prefer to keep it simple and list everything in past tense, even though it'll say, current job 2020 until present, you can still put it all in past tense. Okay. All right. And make sure you have another set of eyes on your resume. Once you've gotten that resume completed, ask a good friend or a teacher or make an appointment with us to check that resume, because spell check, if the word is spelled correctly, but it's just the wrong word, it won't catch it. So you want to make sure that your grammar, your spelling, your punctuation, everything is perfect, okay? Do not just use a Microsoft template. There's lots of them out there, and a recruiter can see immediately that you've used one of the templates. It shows a lack of effort, and it's not always even the right formatting for you. We do have a template that we're going to include at the end here that we're going to show you that we produced. Okay, it's not a Microsoft template. It's one that we use for technology students. And we do suggest that you use that along with our basic format that's in our little packet that we send out from the Career Center. Okay, but don't rely on a Microsoft template. Many times the formatting is very poor on those, and they don't even copy and paste well into an application. So you're doing yourself a disservice by taking that shortcut. No color paper, no fancy photos. I mean, unless you're in interior design and you want to do like a little link to your portfolio and maybe share something extra. Don't use any kind of frilly paper, colored paper, photos. Just keep it simple, because remember, the machine is going to scan your information. If it passes the keyword content, list of how many keywords you need to have, then it goes to the recruiter. They want it very simple and to the point. If you do want to include things like travel or hobbies or anything that makes you stand out as a candidate, put that at the very bottom, okay, under special skills. That's an optional category. You don't have to do that. And explain why you're including that, okay? And that's fine to do. Or if you've had an award or you traveled, you took a year off, a sabbatical, and you traveled and you learned a new language, put it at the bottom under special skills, but don't do too much. Keep it simple. Okay. Okay, I want my resume to be the one you remember. Yeah, it is also available as a video, a dance, and a haiku. Don't do anything fancy like that. Don't like send them something in the mail to make you stand out. Rely on a solid, good resume that truly represents you, and don't do anything fancy. Now, that doesn't mean you can't possibly contact a company and do an informational interview ahead of time, or maybe get to know a recruiter at that company. That's fine, but don't do anything such as, sending them videos of yourself or anything like that. Keep it simple.